Good morning, friends. Due to the net connectivity problems, in last week our lectures are not conducted, and therefore now I am going to think about sending you the different types of videos or YouTube links through which you will not miss my lecture. Okay, today we will, in last lecture we have studied the different advantages of auditing. After considering the advantages of auditing, now today I will consider the different principles of auditing. Principles of auditing. Which are the different principles of auditing? Everyone knows that audit is done by a professional accountant who is a chartered accountant, and which abilities or which skills he must have, which principles he must adopted by the chartered accountant, we will learn today. First is there, that is skills and competency. Skills and competency. What do you mean by skills? See here, he must have the professional accountant who is a chartered accountant. He must have the adequate skills through the education. He must complete his chartered accountant. He must complete his degree as well as the articleship or training which is given in the office, so that he will have the adequate skills to do the work. Competency means ability to do the work. He must be a person who has worked with his seniors. He must have the proper experience of how to do the work, how to do the teamwork. And like this, he must always be updated with new regulations, with new pronouncements, or he must have the knowledge of law. He must know all the audit matters. He must be handled very fluently and very easily. So that the first principle is the skills and competency. Second, integrity and objectivity. Integrity and objectivity. Integrity means what? See here, integrity means to do the teamwork, to do the honest work, to do the incorruption. Incorruptibility must be behind the work. The objectivity means what? Objective means one hand, the person who is doing the audit, he must be fair. He must do his impartial work. He must be unbiased. He should not do his work with a person who is in his favor. That is not a point here. He must not be a prejudiced person. He must be an unbiased person. कोणाच्या तरी फेवर मध्ये इथं निकाल द्यायचं, प्रॉफिट आहे किंवा लॉस आहे, it should not be a matter. The integrity and objectivity, the most important objective behind this principle is that he must have the faith, he must have the confidence in the person, and so that he can show all the financial position of his business very fairly. Very firm decisions will be taken very properly. This we can call it as a integrity and objectivity, where the teamwork is done, honest teamwork is done by the auditor and his team. The next point is independence. What do I mean by independence? Independence, he should not be under any person's influence. कोणाच्या तरी दबावामध्ये येऊन तिथं ऑडिट करायचं नसतंय, तर कोणाच्या तरी थर्ड पार्टीच्या फेवरमध्ये जाऊन इथं ऑडिट करायचं नसतो, तर ही मस्ट हॅव हिज इंडिपेंडंट थिंकिंग. स्वतःचे त्याचे ओन डिसिजन्स मस्ट बी टेकन बाय हिम. हिज अप्रोच ऑफ वर्क मस्ट बी विदाउट fear and also without any favor. Nothing, any person must not give a favor work which must be done by him. He must be updated with himself with all the rules, all the regulations, all the different types of pronouncements which is given by the Chartered Accountant Institute. He must know all the amendments about the different law with the legal provisions so that he can take his own decisions correctly while doing the audit. One of the author who has nicely said the words related to independence. Independence means what? Independence means the attitude of mind. Attitude of mind and thought and action. This is the most important about the auditor rather than his relationship with the accountant and the client. And like this, the independence means he must have his own knowledge, he must have his own thinking, he must have his own different types of decisions he must be here taken. And like this, this is the independence principle must be inherent in the person who is doing the audit. The next point is reliance of audit work. Reliance of audit work. Reliance of audit work. Reliance means to rely on someone, to depend on someone. A chartered accountant who is doing the audit, he is not able to do the work with alone. एकटा चार्टर्ड अकाउंटंट काही सुद्धा करू शकत नाही. तर he has always his team who will do the different types of works. Like this, he has to, if different assistants are there in his hands, and behind his hands if different assistants are there, he is totally dependent on that persons while taking the different types of decisions. So always, as it is not possible for the auditor to perform whole work by himself, he will relay the work which is performed by others or which is performed by his juniors. And like this, all the on the basis of juniors, on the basis of skills of the assistants also, he will give his own decisions, he will provide his own opinion based on the financial statement. The next point is documentation. Everyone knows that proper documentation is one of the most essential evidence which is considered by different authorities, maybe the debtors, maybe the bankers, investors or government or many other persons. Like this, the documentation means it is one of the evidence, or the documentation we can say that what is the manner of work done by the auditor, how he has done his work properly. See, while doing the auditing, he is going to maintain various papers which we can call it as documentation. These, at the time of auditing, whatever the papers like working papers are there, many rough papers are there, or as per the law some audit planning is done as per the standards, as per the rules, as per the regulations. Whatever the papers are maintained which are based on the financial statement, that is, we can call it as documentation. These documentations serve as an evidence to the different third parties also. If any disputes has occurred, these are only the papers which are considered by different authorities also, and one can tackle the different types of disputes as well as quarrels also. Next point, that is audit planning. What do we mean by planning? Everyone knows. Directly any work we are not going to do. If even though we have to pass any exam, some planning of work, some planning of study is most essential. Here audit planning means what? See here, audit planning means adequate knowledge must be there to the auditor before going to the audit. Which knowledge he must be have? Which is the type of business? How the organization structure is there of business? What is the purpose of work? Whether the whole audit he has to do or for a part time he has to do the audit. Like this, different questions behind the considerations are there before doing the audit. Accounting, which accounting systems are adopted by the businessman? How the internal check control systems are maintained? all these must be considered by the auditor before doing the audit. And like this, by proper planning, he must go to the audit with his juniors, with his team only. If proper planning is not done by the auditor, it is not possible for him to complete his auditing. Therefore, not only planning must be there, but he must have the different types of knowledge of his client also. If he has the adequate knowledge of the business of the client, then only he can serve the audit as an auditor properly. Otherwise, it is not possible to show the true and fair view of all the different types of financial statements. Next point is audit evidence. Everyone knows evidence means proof. Proofs are there. See, a sufficient support of proofs must be there so that he can give his opinion properly, fairly, truthfully on the basis of financial statement. Which are the different evidences? Many times the nature of evidence must be considered. Some internal evidences must be there, some external evidences must be there. Whether the internal or external, he must verify it properly. Which is the type of evidence? Whether visual evidence, whether oral evidence or the documentary evidence are there. See, always it is not possible that documents will be there for the purpose of support. But sometimes the auditor must have confidence, must have faith on the higher authority of the business. And orally when they will here give the आश्वासन दिले जातात काही मोठ्या अथॉरिटीने, तर ते सुद्धा इथं त्यांनी कन्सिडर करायला पाहिजे. And on that basis only he must give the different types of considerations about the evidences. See, an adequate evidence must be provided. He must have on the basis of his past experience, on the basis of his different types of ratios which are calculated of accounting, different types of analysis is done of the financial statements. See, and some materiality which is available by the businessman, these are also served, or different types of documents which are made available by the businessman, these serve as a good evidence also. See here, a reasonable, competent person must be there. There must be a person who must give his different types of conclusions on the basis of these evidences, on the basis of financial statement. These financial statements must show the true and fair view only. The next point is audit conclusions. Audit conclusions. Conclusions means at the end of the session, after completing the whole auditing, after completing the examination of audit evidence, after completing the examination of or the knowledge of business, after considering the client's business, he must be able to conclude the session of audit. How he will conclude the session of audit? He must see the first point, that is whether the financial statements which is prepared by the businessman is accepted as per the rules or regulations, are maintained as per the standards or not. Second point, that is whatever the financial statement is there, it must be inconsistent. It must be consistent so that he must complete all the legal requirements. If legally it is not properly shown by the auditor, it is also not considered. It is also not possible to give the conclusion at the end. And like this, financial statement must disclose each and everything. There should not be any secret points behind the auditor. ऑडिटरला माहिती नाही फायनान्शियल स्टेटमेंटशी रिलेटेड असं काहीच नसायला पाहिजे. ऑल द इम्पॉर्टंट इन्फॉर्मेशन ही द ऑडिटर मस्ट नो, and we can say that the auditor must know or must disclose each and everything in the financial statements only. And one of the last point is there, that is audit report. Here audit report is done. See here, after considering the conclusion, he must express his own opinion. He must provide the adequate information on the financial position of the business. This audit report must be the opinion of state of financial affairs of business. Whatever the opinion he must give, which must be fair, which must about his own decision he must be given. Here thought of action and mind is most essential. His own attitude regarding the financial position of business he must express in this report only. And like this, the audit report at the end of the financial statement, audit report is given here by the auditor. One of the last point is there, that is ethical conduct. Take the point. Ethical conduct. See, ethical conduct means नैतिकता. प्रत्येक ऑडिटरनी इथं नैतिकता जपली पाहिजे. Honest, diligent and integrity must be considered in the ethical conduct of the business. See here, when the auditor is going to do the audit within the week or within 2-3 days of the whole year, it is not possible for him to check out each and every journal entry, each and every ledger accounts or each and every point. But he can do some sample study of the business with the help of his juniors. And on the basis of these samples, which is checked by his juniors and him, on that basis only he will give his result. But whatever the checking is done by the auditor, it must be the honest, it must be diligent, must be there, it must be integrity, must be there. There should not be any corruption done by the person who is going to do the audit. One of the famous case is there, that is Arthur Andersen Enron story. Arthur Andersen Enron story. In this, a auditor is there who had shown the wrong financial statement of business. The losses has occurred to the Enron company, but they have shown the profits, they have converted into profit, and clever interpretations are done by the auditor only. But what was the result? When the shareholders went to the court, when the shareholders filed a case, when a shareholders provide a complaint to the court, the suit is filed against the auditor. The shareholders, then the auditor has lost their rights and to practice as an auditing at the international level, and the company was also declared as a bankrupt company. Like this, you can see this and Arthur Andersen and Enron story on the Google also, which you will get the details knowledge how the lack of honesty is there, which has lost the rights of the auditor also. Like this, the different points are there of the principles of auditing. You must study. If you have any query, if you have any doubt, you can contact me also. Okay, thank you for today.